Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is Indy Fanatics, your home for IndyCar content with weekly podcasts and feature videos. Welcome back to the channel and to another episode of the IndyCar Podcast. Now it's a second episode in a week and a second episode of Mike Week. Is that a thing? Am I making it a thing? I don't know if I'm making it a thing, but Stephen's not here again. Like I said, he will be back next week when we will be doing a podcast to round up qualifying and obviously looking ahead to the main event of the race next week. So we'll be going 2 podcasts a week during this time because there's just so much going on. But obviously, if you're wanting to keep up to date, right on the action, and David Land is so good and he's actually there at Indianapolis, he will give you a roundup of each day of practice. Obviously, we had the first day of practice yesterday. We're going to go through slightly looking at that, but the main focus of today's video is going to be looking ahead to qualifying and our initial thoughts of, well, my initial thoughts of where everything's shaping up, who might be at risk of missing out on that qualifying, and making my predictions with the usual kind of, I suppose, who will get bumped will be the prediction this week. Who will be the best of the rookie or kind of new performers. And I guess that's how we'll go with the predictions. But David Land would be a fantastic one. If you want to keep up to date every day, there's racing at Indianapolis. He will be releasing a video. So make sure you check out and support David as well. But let's get into our video here. So I'll go and put the times up on screen as we work through them. So willpower difference, he topped the timesheets. The difference with oval racing, especially Indianapolis, is the qualifying lap is set over average speed over 4 laps. So when you're looking at the time, it's not necessarily the time of completed lap. It is actually the miles per hour, average miles per hour that the driver is going for. And that kind of highest average mile per hour is, where it'll be going. So willpower tops it. He has 226.470 mile per hour. Fantastic for him, topping the timesheets. Obviously the 2018 winner of the Indianapolis 500. Is it time for Will? A win here would certainly boost massive chances winning the championship. And after the last 3 races not really working out in his favour, he certainly would need a good result here at Indianapolis. Ryan Hunter-Reay, great to see him up in 2. He also hit the 226 mile per hour, and there were 3 drivers who did that. And the third one was Takuma Sato, obviously last year and 2-time Indy 500 winner. A good name to see up there also is Sage Karam. So he was just outside the 226 mile an hour, but not too far off with 225.942 as his speed going through there. And rounding off the top 5, we had Connor Daly in the Ed Commodore Racing. Now, he looked like he had pace. Obviously, qualifying forced him to start near the back in Texas and was involved at that start crash in race 2 and was very quick at the Indy GP at the weekend in qualifying, but unfortunately was was involved in a collision in the Indy GP last weekend. So he certainly will be looking to have a strong in the US Air Force car. So that is the top 5. And I think, like I said, we're not going to focus too much on practice. David will give a much more comprehensive look at those things. But there's the top 5. But those are guys maybe we can say who will be fighting for the pole position come on Sunday. Will's always a quick qualifier, but it would be fantastic to see Hunter-Reay up there. And Takuma Sato again looks very quick out round the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The bottom 5, however, is surprise. Was Jack Harvey. He had an engine issue yesterday. I believe his engine had to be replaced, so could only top a time of 222.113 miles per hour. My gut feeling says that Jack Harvey isn't going to be in the fight for bump day. I do believe that he will qualify well. He had a lot of pace around Texas. I just think it was a day that didn't go too wrong. And as there was rain throughout the day, it kind of feels Jack Harvey it wasn't as bad a day as what it could have been if all his competitors got a lot of running in. Luckily, there was a little bit of rain that helped him out with that engine issue. Max Chilton, obviously, the US isn't on the green list for travelling across into the States, and so that's why he missed the Indy GP. He had trouble getting over here travel-wise, but he is out there in Indianapolis now. But yeah, I think he's just going to take a little time to get up to basis, but he should be safe. His experience will be there, but he's probably going to be a guy fighting it out on bump day unless he finds pace over the next couple of days of practice. Pietro Fittipaldi in the 51 Dale Coyne car was 32 with 220 mile an hour, and Sebastian Bourdais, he's I think back of the car caught on fire. I think it was engine had an oil leak. So not a great day for Sebastian Bourdais. Again, another one like Jack Harvey. I wouldn't expect to be around that mark when it comes to qualifying day. But yeah, not an ideal first day of practice for Sebastian Bourdais. Stefan Wilson and RC Enerson were the only guys to not reach the 220 mile an hour. RC Enerson wasn't able to complete his rookie orientation on the day as well, because rookies have to go through that orientation before they are passed and cleared to race. So that unfortunately has put RC Enerson a little bit behind. But Top Gun Racing, it's their first ever Indy 500 or attempt to qualify for the Indy 500. And RC Enerson is a rookie as well. So yeah, it's gonna be tricky for RC to make it through. But Stefan Wilson, I think he's just getting back up to stretch. He's getting used to the car. It's the first time he's been running in the car. I don't think because he was announced after it, he didn't do any of the testing at Indianapolis earlier in the year in April. So it's going to take him up to speed. But I imagine with the Andretti package that he should be a guy who does comfortably make it through to race day. So that was the top 5 and the bottom 5 from practice yesterday. Some early indications, but obviously it's probably a lot of race simulations going. There was at points that you had all 35 cars on track. So yeah, don't take too much into it. You never, until the pressure is on, we're getting to that qualifying, can for sure say who's got the pace and who hasn't got the pace. And you certainly can't tell until race day how it's all going to unfold for the guys during the field. So, should we start off with positive or negative? Let's get the bump days. So, bump day, there's going to be 2 guys out of that list who miss out. And I just think Top Gun, just getting there and competing in qualifying is superb for them. But I just don't think they've had enough running, enough practice. They've got a lot to do in these 4 days to kind of prepare for qualifying at the weekend. I think RC Enerson will be the guy bumped. And also, it feels like it'll be between Pietro, Max Chilton back there. Sage Karam looks like he'll get through with that Indy 500 only one with Dry Rainbow. They're quite good at getting through. So those are 3 at the moment at risk, just not because of Max has shown that he has pace with obviously his Chip Ganassi days having that P4 finish at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But I do think with Carlin, they just haven't quite nailed IndyCar yet. And I know Connor Daly got a pole, I believe it was Iowa last year. I believe it was race 1 of Iowa. He secured the team and his own personal first pole position. But yeah, if there's any guy who can get it through, I think Max knows the team well. He would be able to get it through, but Pietro, those are the 3 initially who I think are looking in danger of being bumped on bump day. So if I was to pick 2, I'm going to go with Pietro and RC Enerson, just through lack of experience and lack of running in the car time. I think that will just kind of show where you go for them. Rookies, well, it's only really Scott McLaughlin who's out of our full-time rookies going in there. I think he'll comfortably make it through to qualify. And if he makes it into a top 10, if he makes it into the pole race, that would be absolutely superb for Scott McLaughlin. But I don't think so. But, you know, I know Pietro isn't classified as a rookie, but he's never raced the race. So let's classify it. If RC Enerson, Pietro and Scott make it through, I think Scott is going to be the highest placed ones out of those. He's in the best team and everything on that front. But the guys to make it through to pole day, so 9 of them. So do I pick a top 9? Yeah, let's predict. This is going to be fun. Let's predict the top 9 making it through to pole day on the Sunday. And wow, I guess I got to pick an Indianapolis pole sitter as well for the Indy 500. So I'm going to back Takuma Sato, Scott Dixon. I'll count it on my hands so I don't lose track. Will Power to make it through. Go on, let's put Ryan Hunter-Ray through there for 4. Simon Pagenaud, I think he's very good round here. He's going to make it into it. Alexander Rossi is very quick round the speedway. That's going to be 6. Last 3. Shall we put in some surprise ones? After his poor showing, you know what? I'm going to put Jack Harvey. I think Jack Harvey's going to make it through to a shot for the pole. He was the guy that I predicted early season in the predictions to get the pole position. So I've got to at least put him through to the fast 9, I guess, suppose. But the top 9 making it through to pole day. Graham Rahal will make it through to me. I think the Rahal Letterman Racing guys look quick. Not going to back Ferrucci to make it through. Who else? Pato O'Ward. I think he will be the highest one out of the Arrow McLaren guys. Don't ask me to recall. Hopefully I've put on screen my predictions as they come up. Because, yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. And for actual pole position, well, he hasn't got a pole position so far this season, and he's got to get Mario Andretti's record before he retires, and that is Will Power. So I'm going to back Will Power to get the pole position at this weekend. But as this video comes out, it's recorded before practice on the second day of Wednesday, so we'll have a better idea of timings on there. There's Thursday and Friday as well. So much running at Indianapolis for guys to get the car right, get it really in that setup for qualifying and race setups as well. And then obviously at the weekend, 10 to 30 will be decided on the Saturday. 5 will go through to bump day. 9 will make it through to fight it out to pole position. But it's going to be fantastic. The Indy 500, the month of May is properly here. The Indy GP was a fantastic warm-up last weekend, but now we're ready for it. This is where the excitement kicks in. It's the best qualifying of the year as well, where they just have at least one running to get those 4 laps in to get the highest average speed, and it's going to be fantastic. And will we have a few surprises? And it'll certainly be interesting to see how it pans out. And we're not far away now from the main event, the 30th of May, Indy 500. It's almost here, guys, but we've got a great qualifying weekend ahead of us to look forward to as well. But that's it for today. We'll keep it nice and short, nice and brief. There isn't much to talk about in there. I'd love to hear your predictions down in the comments below. What were your thoughts from Tuesday? Obviously, that's what I've seen, but you would have seen Wednesday by the time this goes out. So let us know your thoughts on how the grid is shaping up, who you think are going to make it through to the pole, who you think are going to bump day, who you think won't make the cut to make this year's 105th running of the Indy 500. Watch out for the feature video later in the week. It is going to be, what we're looking at is Indy 500 month. All the feature videos are going to be focused on the Indy 500. And a man who sadly passed away and is a legend of the Speedway, Bobby Unser. We thought it was a perfect time to look at his career. So look out for that video on Friday, going into the career and life of Bobby Unser. I hope you're going to look forward to that one. But if you're new around here or haven't done so already and you like what we do on the channel, you can like, subscribe and ding that bell. But for now, you Indy fans, keep racing!